Hello, Wonderhussy here, taking a beautiful hike in the beautiful and majestic Sierra Nevada mountains. Sort of about an hour south of Lake Tahoe. I'm on my way up to visit my mom, and rather than just take the direct, boring route, well, I figured I'd take the scenic route. It'd take a few days to do it at that, and so I've had a very interesting last few days. First night, I meant to camp at a ghost town in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. Unfortunately, the ghost town turned out to be private property and it had all these no trespassing signs on it. So I didn't let that get me down. I just found a place to camp nearby, and then the next day, I continued on and camped at an amazing hot spring, also in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. And that was fantastic. But I had to leave that place yesterday morning, and I continued on westward through the great state of Nevada to the state line with California, where I stopped at a unbelievably beautiful beach on unbelievably beautiful Lake Tahoe. But unfortunately, you can't camp on that beach, so I had to continue on after a few hours to my final spot where I camped last night, which was right down the road here at an abandoned ski resort. I know, man. I didn't think those things ever went bankrupt or out of business the way people like to ski so dang much, but this place did, and now you can camp there. And well, I made a whole separate video about everything I've just been talking about, but I guess at the time you're watching this, it probably won't be posted yet, so stay tuned for all that exciting action-packed stuff coming soon. But anyway, it's Thursday today. I left my house in Vegas on Monday. I told my mom I'd be at her place later today. So I figure before I leave this amazing, beautiful area, well, I ought to at least do one last little hike or something, because there's all these amazing, beautiful alpine lakes up here. And this one here happened to be sort of near where I was camping, so I figured I'd just cruise on down and check it out. It's only it's not even really a hike. It's 1.5 miles, and I'm doing it in my flip-flops. This trail is kind of hard to follow because a lot of it's just over this rocky stuff. And so there's these little rock cairns stacked up periodically, and that's what you're supposed to follow to stay on the trail. I heard that there are some ultra purist environmentalists who don't even like you to stack rocks in nature because it's interfering with nature. I don't know, man. I'm all in favor of it if it helps me find my way on a trail. So, you know what I mean? I'm taking enough risks as it is hiking in flip-flops without getting lost off the trail while I'm at it. And I don't know if this is bear country. I mean, I'm assuming there's bear up here in the Sierras. I don't even have bear spray with me. Talk about living dangerously. Actually, I posted something on Instagram yesterday, a picture of me at the hot spring I camped at. And I put a quote in the caption to the picture. The secret for harvesting from existence, the greatest enjoyment, is to live dangerously. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Well, if you're into weird philosophy, it just might, because it's a quote from Nietzsche, which I'm not I never was a big Nietzsche fan. To be honest, I don't really read a lot of philosophy to begin with, but I was reading some stuff he wrote a while back, and well, a few things that he said resonated with me, that quote being one of them. I also kind of get what he was saying about the Übermensch. If you don't know who Nietzsche is, he was a German philosopher who, I guess, pioneered this concept of the Übermensch, which was the translation into English is like the overman, what basically just means like the man, Though his mind is not for rent to any god or government. You know, that kind of man, the man who thinks for himself. Well, I can't be an uber mensch, but I guess I can be an uber wench. Oh, I lost the trail again. Some uber mensch I am. Oh, here we go. And I see another one up ahead. Whew, I probably shouldn't be blabbering to myself while I'm trying to follow this trail. I mean, it's only a 1.5 mile long trail. I could just wait till I get to the dang lake to start talking to myself. But basically, by bringing up that Nietzsche quote, well, the quote, I used it on a picture of myself soaking in a hot spring, naked, beautiful sunset. It was a gorgeous picture. And then the rest of the caption I wrote, today I scratched my toe on a barbed wire fence while hiking barefoot through the desert and bushwhacking naked through jasmine bushes buzzing with bees to soak in a murky hot spring, the bottom of which I could not see, but which was undoubtedly rife with brain-eating amoeba, before finally crawling into my car to sleep alone in the middle of nowhere with my doors unlocked. And I'm still not dead. My point in all of that was, a lot of my viewers are really considerate and really worry about me a lot. But it's like, gosh, you guys just worry about everything. Like, yes, it's true. You probably shouldn't be hiking in flip-flops, and I'll take that. That's legitimate, because there could be rattlesnakes out here. I could twist an ankle. But, you know, stuff like camping alone and soaking in a hot spring, like, you gotta take some risks in life. Otherwise, your life is just boring. But after I posted that, I thought, don't get cocky. And so now I almost sort of feel like I'm being extra cautious because I feel like I sort of jinxed myself, you know? So if anything, that post was actually good because it's making me a little more cautious than usual, flip-flops notwithstanding. Okay, I am going to turn my camera off now and get down to the lake before I tell you the rest of what I want to tell you. Cliffhanger. Ugh, finally. Oh my goodness, will you look at how beautiful. Look at this little lizard. He's doing push-ups. Anyway, like I was saying, look how beautiful this lake is and the spectacular scenery. Oh gosh, look, there's even still some pockets of snow over there. I bet this water is cold as ice. Ah! You'll never believe it, but I was just reviewing the footage of the video I just shot, and I don't have any audio. Once I get down to the lake, my microphone somehow screwed up and went bad, and well, there's all this beautiful footage of this lake, which is absolutely amazing. Tiny little alpine lake, basically snow melt. But I was hot and sweaty from hiking down there, so I thought, let me get in and take a skinny dip because there was no one else around. And so I did. I dropped trout and I got in the lake and the water felt amazing. Yes, it was cold, but it wasn't like super cold because it's kind of a shallow lake, I guess. Beautiful sandy bottom, clear water. Oh man, I shot almost my whole vlog, or rest of the vlog, in the water, telling you what it was that I was getting ready to tell you. And then none of the audio came out. And so when I noticed, I actually decided to stop after the hike and just sit in my car for a while and do some editing. So I noticed when I was still kind of near the trailhead. So I thought, I could hike all the way back over and reshoot it. But it's like 1.5 miles each way. And I got to get to my mom's house. And anyway, here I am. I'm stuck in traffic. I think there's a terrible accident up ahead. So unfortunately, they're doing that thing where you have to wait for a pilot car, or not a pilot car, but you have to wait to be routed around. So I'm stuck sitting here anyway. I guess I'll just have to tell you what I was going to tell you in way less beautiful surroundings. Although it is still beautiful. I mean, if I have to be stuck in a roadblock, I might as well be stuck up here in the beautiful Sierra Mountains. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you was, basically I plan to travel around as much as I can this summer and suck every last drop from the juicy peach that is summer. I'm a big time summer person. I love all the seasons, but summer's my favorite. And something about everything being so lush and green and alive. I feel like I'm at a buffet and I just want to cram everything into my mouth. I can't get enough. And the last 3 days have been like that. I mean, beautiful hot spring, beautiful lake, beautiful this lake. I mean, But why do I want to travel around this summer more than other summers? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's because, well, I've been talking about this for a while now, how my sister and I have been wanting to buy some desert property together. Just kind of have like a little ranch or a bohemian hippie compound, some kind of home base I can come back to between adventures. Because, yeah, I do like my house in Vegas, and I actually don't mind living in Vegas. It's fine. But I just never really felt like home. I think I did a video all about that last summer, too. And my sister, you know, she hasn't really had a home for a while, so we decided to make a home together. And I am very pleased to announce that we looked for a while, but we finally found a place. And we made an offer, and the offer was accepted, and we're going to get the keys in just a few weeks. Woo! We're going to have a desert compound of our very own at last. The only thing is, this property is like right outside Death Valley. I'm not going to say exactly where it is now because, well, many more details will be forthcoming and many videos coming as well. But for now, let's just say it's right outside Death Valley. It's super hot out there right now, obviously. So it's going to be pretty much too hot to do anything out there until the fall. So my plan is to spend the whole summer traveling around as much as I can, seeing as much of this beautiful country as I can, stocking up videos for the can as I can. So that way, when fall rolls around and I start packing up my stuff in Vegas and really start moving out to this compound, I'll have scratched my travel itch at least for a month or so. I mean, the plan is I'm still going to travel around and just come back between trips like I do now. And my sister is going to kind of more or less live on the property. And it's only 1 acre. We wanted a bigger property, but what we found ended up working out pretty good. It's 1 acre. It's got a little house on it, 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. So she's going to live in the house. And then there's a little guest house, like a casita, that I'm going to live in. So that way we each kind of have our own separate thing. We're not like Patty and Selma, if you know who they are. But I'll have this little casita for my own little space. And, well, yeah, the casita... If you've been following me on Patreon, by the way, you already know all this. On my Patreon, I've been using it as kind of like a diary. I've been writing about this process as we've been looking at properties, and then we made the offer and had the inspections and all that. So apologies to my patrons because you already know all this. But for the rest of you, the casita is in pretty bad shape. It's basically just like a glorified tough shed, like a garden shed. But if you think about it, I sleep in all these crazy rat-infested volunteer cabins, so I'm sure I can fix this casita up just fine with not too much money. I know building materials are crazy expensive right now, so I probably won't do any major, you know, I guess eventually the casita needs to be totally rebuilt, but I'm not trying to undertake that now. I'm just going to fix it up as nicely as I can. And, well, if you watched my video that I posted a few weeks ago where we all camped out at that hot spring in Death Valley and had that kind of cool bohemian gypsy, I know you're not supposed to say gypsy anymore, but nomad desert camp, well, then you know that I do have some decorating skills, and I'm sure I can make this casita really nice. But anyway, until then, I mean, I really can't do anything until September. I'm just going to travel around and do as much as I can, and then it'll be really nice because when Labor Day rolls around, normally when summer comes to an end and Labor Day rolls around, I get kind of melancholy, like, summer's over, back to school, even though I'm obviously not in school anymore. It's that same kind of feeling like if you work a Monday through Friday job, like you love Fridays, you love Saturdays. Sundays are fine until around 3, 4 p.m. You start feeling kind of gloomy. Well, I always get that feeling around Labor Day, but this year I won't. Because this year, when summer comes to an end, I'll be embarking on a whole amazing new adventure. How about that? I mean, me and my sister are going to fix this property up like you wouldn't believe. Again, I'm not going to say too much about it, but it has a lot of potential, a lot of quirky features, outbuildings. It's going to be really interesting, and I look forward to sharing my new desert compound life journey with all of you. So, for now, I'm just going to be cruising around having fun. It's kind of like, you know how Amish people, the Amish, I think they let their young people, their 18-year-olds, go on a 1-year tour. They call it a Rumspringa, I think. Rumspringa, Rumspringa. Well, basically, they let the 18-year-old cruise around the non-Amish world, the English world, I guess, and see what it's like, see what earthly delights it has to offer. And then at the end of that year, they get to decide, okay, do I want to stay out here in the world, or do I want to come back and be Amish again? Well, that's kind of like what I'm going to do this summer. I'm going to go on my summer Rumspringa, have all my fun, all my adventures, scratch the travel bug as much as I can for now, so that I'm ready to go back to the desert in the fall and start making a home. Anyway, they just cleared the roadblock, so traffic's moving again. I really shouldn't be using my cell phone while I'm driving, especially when I'm driving past the scene of a horrific accident and there's police there, so, oh God. Anyway, that's the news. That's what I wanted to tell you. Sorry it didn't work out in the water, but oh well.